Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is my first time to have the opportunity to serve as an MC here for this gathering, and President Hargis, I'm pleased to report that the cowboys who ride horses and wear great cowboy hats have turned out in force at Oklahoma State today, and we're very privileged to have them with us. It's an exciting day for the university, the division, and particularly our equine program. On behalf of the Department of Animal Science, I'm pleased to welcome you to the new Charles and Linda Cline Equine Teaching Center. Absolutely. My name is Clint Rusk, and I have the privilege of serving as head of the Department of Animal Science here at Oklahoma State University. But today is not about me, but rather about a lady and her generosity and the dedication of this beautiful facility. In fact, we would not be here today if it were not for the generous support of Linda Cline and her family. The Cline's partnership with OSU started with outreach from our faculty, Dr. Cooper and Dr. Freeman, as they helped the Cline family put together Charlie and Ranch, and as they started to invest in the horse program. And then as Linda came to Oklahoma State and developed that further relationship, and she saw the needs that we had in our equine program. We'd like at this time, if Linda would please stand so that we could recognize you. Thank you. Linda's gift to the center is not only memorializing her love for horses and her partnership with Oklahoma State University, but is also showing appreciation for what she and her husband Charles did together, and this is memorializing their partnership with us. Joining Linda today are her children, Amy, her daughter and son, Carrie, as well as other family members. If you would please stand and let us recognize you. Prior to this event, we held a small gathering here in the facility earlier this afternoon to recognize individual donors who had named spaces throughout the center. As you embark on a tour of this beautiful facility later this afternoon, you'll be able to see those nameplates and see who has contributed and dedicated their contribution to this facility in a naming situation. We appreciate those donors for their contribution. Please give them a round of applause. At this time, I'd like to introduce our special guests. You're all special for being here, but a few special guests to recognize. And if you would, as I call out their names, and we'll call them in groups, we'd ask them to stand. And if you would, please hold your applause until I complete the introduction of that particular group. And of course, we'll start with our president, Burns Hargis, joining us today. President Hargis, please stand. His wife, Ann, our first cowgirl at Oklahoma State University. Mr. Kirk Jewell, president of the OSU Foundation. Vice President, Dean, and Director, Dr. Tom Kuhn. And his wife, Rhonda. And now a group of leadership from OSU. Gary Clark, Senior Vice President and General Counsel. Back in the back. Dr. Kenneth Sewell, Vice President for Research. Kyle Ray, Vice President for Enrollment Management and Marketing. Chris Batchelder, President of the OSU Alumni Association. And Dr. Gene Sander from the Center for Veterinary Health Sciences. Other special guests that are with us include Oklahoma Secretary of Agriculture, Mr. Jim Reese. Representative Lee Denny. Larry Sanchez, coach of the OSU Women's Equestrian Team. From the Division of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources, Dr. Keith Owens, Associate Vice President of the Oklahoma Ag Experiment Station. Dr. Cinda Clary, Associate Dean of Academic Programs. Dr. Steve Dameron, Assistant Dean of Academic Programs. Dr. Randy Raper, Assistant Director of the Ag Experiment Stations, who was very involved in the planning and carrying out the building process of this beautiful facility. And of course, none of this would be possible without somebody to manage the finances, Mr. Bob Cline, Assistant Vice President for Fiscal Affairs. I'd like to introduce three individuals to you that are key to our equine program here at Oklahoma State. Dr. Stephen Cooper, our OSU horse judging coach and holder of the Cline Family Professorship. Dr. Cooper. Dr. Chris Heine joined our faculty about a year and a half ago as our equine extension specialist. No one can replace Dr. Freeman, but Dr. Heine is certainly carrying the torch and doing a great job out in the country as well as helping teach in our teaching program. And last but not least, our newest member of our team. Her name is Natalie Baker. If Natalie Baker would please raise your hand. Right back here in the back. Natalie Baker is our new equine herd manager, and she's much more than that. We were very fortunate, President Hargis, to be able to attract her away from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. She left the coast to come back to her roots here at Oklahoma State, where she received her master's degree working under, working under Dr. Cooper, and she also helped coach the world champion horse judging team in 2012. Our pleasure to have Natalie Baker back in Stillwater. I appreciate all of you joining us today. I just want you to know that we have found that youth who become involved with horses also develop an understanding of basic life skills, including a strong work ethic, good communication skills, and outstanding leadership. 40 to 50% of the incoming animal science freshmen declare that equine are their primary interest. The exceptional quality of the Department of Animal Sciences equine program is now added to because of this beautiful facility as a key contributor to drawing outstanding recruits to OSU by providing educational experiences and ultimately building a brand of excellence and a long-term loyal alumni base. We're fortunate to have a strong history of developing equine leaders here at Oklahoma State. Some of those people are with us today, like Daryl Bilkey, if you'd please stand. Dave Dellen, Bill Whitman, Mike Armitage, Spence Kidney, Ty Cunningham, and as I introduced before, Natalie Baker, all products of our program. We're very proud of our alumni, and the leaders and representatives that they have become in the equine industry. Along with our alumni, Linda Cline has supported the university and the students of our equine program in many ways, transitioning them into future leaders in the industry. She started by hiring students to work at her ranch. She invited our equine and livestock judging teams to come and utilize her world champion animals for practice, judging clinics, and contests. One of those judging team members is our first speaker this afternoon. Her name is Marissa Chapa, and she comes to us from Maple Park, Illinois. Marissa is currently a junior animal science major and a member, as you can see over here, a member of our world champion horse judging team this past fall. We really appreciate her being with us. Marissa, if you'd please come to the stage.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marissa Chapa. I'm originally from Maple Park, Illinois. My journey leading me to Oklahoma State and hundreds of miles away from home is different than most. Similar to many other agriculture students, I participated in 4-H and FFA in my youth years, which only enhanced my love for agriculture and particularly horses. These organizations then opened up the opportunity for me to learn about horse judging. After I joined and competed with my horse judging team in my high school's FFA program, I later was recruited by the judging coach in Black Hawk College in Illinois. I spent 2 years working on not only my associate's degree, but also advancing my knowledge and interpersonal skills through horse judging. I knew then that I wanted to take the next step and judge at the senior college level as well. I knew OSU had a competitive team and great academics. And after one visit to Stillwater, I knew there was no better place for me to be. If I had not been introduced to judging early on, odds are I may have never ended up here at OSU. So in that aspect, I'm definitely grateful for the countless and amazing opportunities judging has made available to me. This past fall, I was fortunate enough to be on a team with very accomplished, hardworking, and compassionate teammates. Our extensive efforts, exceptional coaches, and support for each other led us to a very successful season. Not only did we have a clean sweep at the Tulsa State Fair, but we also achieved another distinguished accomplishment, winning the 2015 AQHA World Championship Judging Contest. Here today with me are also my fellow teammates standing over there, Camry Martin, Laura Kirshen, Hope Onstadt, Faith Onstadt, Catherine Rodman, Laura Winfield, Jaron Roeder, and of course, our coaches, Sarah Schobert and Dr. Stephen Cooper. Our team can definitely credit Linda Cline for making our successful season a reality. She donated her personal time and openly welcomed us to her personal facility, allowing us to work on live horses. This opportunity was extremely beneficial since this would be our only chance to practice on live horses before our first contest. Linda never hesitated to share her knowledge and encouraging words with our team throughout the semester. Her generous support of the new equine facility will build on the credibility and values she has instilled in not only the judging team, but in current and future students to come. The new setup and remarkable plan of this facility will perfectly equip students and professors for various learning experiences, especially in the breeding program. Linda, the judging team, and students of Oklahoma State cannot thank you enough for your generosity and compassion to support our program. It is because of people like you that Oklahoma State students can excel and inspire others to give back. So we thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Well, as you can see, OSU offers the foundational knowledge needed to be successful in the horse industry. Marissa is a prime example of how the exceptional quality of our equine program here at OSU draws outstanding students from far away to Oklahoma State University. Our next speaker is Dr. Tom Kuhn, who serves as Vice President, Dean, and Director of the Division of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources. Dr. Kuhn joined Oklahoma State University in July of 2014. We're very pleased to have Dr. Kuhn and his wife Rhonda with us here at Oklahoma State. They now ride for the brand. President Hargis, we're very pleased to have them with us. And Dr. Kuhn will now address you. We appreciate him being with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Russ. Wow, what a great turnout. This is fantastic. Linda, you have every reason to be proud of this because you're the one that made this happen. We are so grateful to you for your vision and for your support for seeing this through, certainly to completion, but also in the many other ways that you've strengthened our programs. Thank you so much. It is a wonderful day to celebrate our equine program, and starting out with Marissa's call out to her teammates. Congratulations, you're great ambassadors for Oklahoma State University, and we look forward to seeing that come back to us as you continue to send students to us to help us keep this program as excellent as you've made it. The Clines are a wonderful example of the kind of people who can really make a difference, can make a transformation in a program. And our equine program has been strong. It's a program we're very proud of. But I really think this is a situation where a facility really can help us advance even more because we're going to be able to attract people in, and we're also going to be able to support those people in the work that they do. OSU has had an equine program dating back to 1902. I wasn't here then, but I understand that actually we had quite a herd of some of the finest draft horses around. We don't have those today. The equine world has changed. Instead, we have a small herd of really top quality registered quarter horses for us to work in with our teaching, research, and extension programs. As you tour the center today, and perhaps you've already taken a peek at some of the facilities, I think you'll see there really is a modern learning facility in every sense of the word. Today, we think about students learning in so many different ways, the modalities that they use to learn and acquire information. And so the traditional classroom back in the corner there, we still need to have that, but of course it's connected electronically so we can bring in other media or maybe even connect with other locations for classwork and so on. We've got small meeting space with the conference room and so on. We've got this wonderful arena for students to be able to leave the classroom, come right out, and get hands-on experience working with animals, live animals here as they practice their judging or look for different characteristics of horses in their programs. And then, of course, we have the opportunity to bring our mares in as they foal, to be here and be able to help them if needed. But that means maybe being here all night long, some cases. The nice thing about it is if the students are here to help in the foaling process, they're going to be dry and warm because that tends to happen, especially on cold, windy conditions at night, and to be able to do that indoors, they're going to be spoiled. That's all there is to it. As you go around, I think you'll also appreciate the quality of work that's gone into this, the workmanship. We really appreciate the thought that's gone into it, but also the hard work that's gone in to make this a wonderful facility. I want to give a shout out to our OSU long-range facility planning. And if any representatives are here, if you would stand or raise your arm. We also have Crossland Construction and Guernsey, who helped to make this a reality. And special thanks to Jim McKee, the architect for this project, and Coy Ramsey, who served as the on-site construction manager. Thank you for giving us such a high-quality facility to work in. The curriculum is going to include lectures in horse science, equine training, and so on. We're going to have opportunities for our partners in the horse industry to make use of this facility as well. You can imagine the Equine Advisory Committee, our 4-H Horse Council, and others making use of the meeting rooms or perhaps the conference room for rooms. We want this to be a place that people use, and not just our students, but people across Oklahoma who are involved in the horse industry, in the equine industry, and that's why we invited so many of you to be here with us today. I'm really excited about the facility that this is going to provide for our extension specialist, Dr. Heine, to be able to bring folks in here for workshops on horse management and so on. I really think this is going to be a great asset for her as well. It's a great opportunity here to meet some of our students as you circulate around today, and we encourage you to take advantage of that, get to know them, and listen to them and what they see as especially important about the facility that we have here and the generosity that Linda has shared with us. Without Linda Cline, our equine program would not be where it is today, and neither would many of the students and youth who are involved with the industry. She really has made that kind of a difference. Linda, we thank you for your support and your dedication to our students, our faculty, the university, and the equine industry in Oklahoma. You are one of a kind, and we thank you. I get to introduce him. It is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker this afternoon. It is our own President Burns Hargis. President Hargis, thank you.
Linda, I'm sorry I'm a little underdressed today, but I do have the Spirit Rider on here. And I hope you saw our Christmas card, because we had that little foal stepped on Ann's foot, but the workers' comp claim is just about done, and and I looked at this great team over here, and all I could wonder is, Jaron, how do you get to be the only guy on this team? I'd have gotten into horse judging if I'd have known that was. No, I wouldn't have had. That was a little joke. There is somebody we didn't introduce that's that's very important to Oklahoma State, and that is our very own Oklahoma State polo team coach, David Ragland, is here. David, stand up and say hello to everybody. His wife, Judy. How many didn't know we had a polo team? Okay, we don't have very many honest people in here. I do want to introduce some very important people because they signed my check. First, the chair of of the Oklahoma State Board of Regents, Joe Hall from Elk City. From right here in Stillwater, Oklahoma, Calvin Anthony. Our immediate past chair, Rick Davis from Guthrie. You've already met Jim Reese, our Secretary of Agriculture. From also here in Stillwater, Regent Lou Watkins, our incoming chairman, and her husband, former Congressman Wes isn't here. And the CEO of our A&M board, Jason Ramsey. Is Wes here? There's Jason. Yeah, thank you, Jason. When we announced your gift last spring, we spoke of the storied tradition of the equine department here at Oklahoma State. And just 10 months later, I wish every construction project went this way. I've got some buttes that I can tell you about. But this one was just as smooth as they come. And so now the Charles and Linda Equine Teaching Center is a DASNR priority, and it's going to really make the huge difference that we've already talked about. You know, Linda is, it's really, we have some examples of the kind of philanthropy that Linda has engaged in. And I do also want to thank Linda's children for giving up some of your inheritance for this. That was very thoughtful of you. Where was I? No. What Linda does not just give of her treasure, she gives of her time in mentoring these kids and really helping this be everything it can be. And that's the gift, a real gift, because your experience, your regard, the reputation you have in the equine industry, and for them to be able to interact with you is really important. And I wish all of our donors did that. But if you're not going to, if the only way you'll donate is not to do that, go ahead and donate. It's not that it's required, but it makes a big difference. And I know it's probably a joy to you to interact with these students. So I'm very happy to be able to dedicate this wonderful Charles and Linda Cline Family Equine Center. And I would like to ask Linda to come forward, if you would, please. We're prepared. We're prepared to draw to here. Linda, this place is a tribute to your passion and your husband's passion to excellence in the equine industry, and we just cannot thank you enough. And would you like to say anything? Or
I would like to say a little bit.
Well, you've got the podium.
Okay. It's not this long. It just looks that way. Thank you all for coming. I'm just astounded. It's wonderful to see you out here. I want to talk just a little bit. Originally, my plan was to name this building in honor of Charles. I was the only person that called him Charles. Everybody else called him Charlie. Anyway, people kept after me to put my name on it too, and I finally gave in. But now I'd like to say a few things about the person who really made this possible. A lot of people here knew him, and they'll back me up on what I'm going to say. Charles was one of those people about whom you say he was one of a kind, and then you say, thank goodness for that. He was strong-willed, tenacious, and bull-headed, but a great businessman. Twice while we were active in the trucking business, I received flowers from 2 different customers. The cards read something like this: "These are for you because you have to live with that man." He was tough. I know him. He was tough but honorable in his business dealings. As far as he was concerned, a handshake was just as good or even better than a written contract. He was an animal lover. Horses and dogs were at the top of the list. The first weekend we went to a horse show, I was shocked when he bought more than the 2 horses that we had planned. But when we got them home, I became obsessed. And that started our partnership in the horse business. We had so much to learn. We hired a young couple, and all of a sudden we were in the horse breeding business. We both love seeing the foals born, and I still do. I have 12 babies on the ground right now. Oh, I do? 13, male or female? Boy or girl? Boy. Another one? That's 10 boys and 3 girls. During this time, Dr. Freeman and Dr. Topliff came to the barn to see what those newcomers were up to. They also offered their help, and it was so welcome. We needed all the help we could get. Then we decided to try our hand at horse shows. And again, we had a lot to learn. We kept trying, and we had a buckskin colt that we named C.L. Buckley. We showed him a little bit, but then he became a great sire. So then we began to have a measure of success. Charles and I were competitive with each other. I know he enjoyed beating me more than anyone else in the show pen. That didn't happen too often. No. Charles loved building things. He would have loved seeing this building go up. Best of all, he would have loved having his name on it. He was a big believer in education because it was something that could never be taken away from you. When the judging teams came to the ranch to work out, he thought it was his duty to help instruct them. Dr. Cooper really appreciated the help. I know he would join with me as I say I hope this building is a great asset to the students. This is what it's all about, giving these young people a place to work toward achieving their dreams, a place that is modern and they can be proud of. Have I led you to believe he was a real character? Well, he was, but he was also a good and caring person. After he passed away, I decided to do a paver at the American Quarter Horse Museum on the Walk of Fame. I had it engraved, John Charles Cline, Charlie. He did it his way. And I think all of you who knew him will agree. Thank you.
We don't want anybody to ever forget your generosity, and so we have a little something for you here. Peter, you gonna help?
Pete, I gotta think about Pete.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, there you go.
Inscription on the plaque, it reads Charles and Linda Cline Equine Teaching Center, dedicated February 16th, 2016. In 1985, Charles and Linda Cline established Charlin Ranch west of Cushing, Oklahoma, and soon became respected horsemen and breeders in the equine industry by raising and exhibiting several world champion quarter horses. Over the years, they also developed a strong connection to Oklahoma State University and the equine program. Both animal lovers, Charles and Linda, understood the value of education and had a passion for youth. The Clines generously opened their ranch to students and provided horses for OSU judging contests and clinics. Charles passed away in 2012, but he is remembered as a great breeder, businessman, and a man of his word. Linda dedicates the center in memory of her husband and in deep appreciation for everything Oklahoma State provided them to be successful and develop their passion in the equine industry. Congratulations.
Linda, one last time, thank you so much. It hardly seems like enough to say thank you, but we're indebted to you and your family, and we do really, really appreciate what you've done for us here. Your generous support and your vision, that is as important as anything, your vision and your support for what we have and where we can go, and I hope you'll support us for many, many years to come. As we come to the conclusion of today's program, it's just been wonderful to have each of you here. You took time out of your busy schedules to join us here at the Charles and Linda Cline Equine Teaching Center. And when you come back, we want you to come back as often as you can. You'll get a chance to interact with Natalie Baker, our new equine manager. And we just appreciate having you at Oklahoma State University. I think it's only fitting as we close today's program that we do so in a tradition. And in the words of Larry Reese, here comes Bullet.